Hey guys, time to go ahead and make another video. I got a few minutes here. I'm painting today over on the house, trying to get the wood painted and protected and all that kind of stuff, because it takes, I only can work on the weekends. I work during the week. We're supposed to work 6 days a week and then take the Sabbath off. For those of you that don't know the Sabbath, a lot of people want to say it's Saturday because Saturday is the 7th day of the week. The church wants to call it Sunday because the Roman Catholics claim that they are above the Bible and that they can change the day to Sunday and so forth and so on. But the actual Sabbath is based on the moon cycle, which in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth, and on down the way a little ways He's created the sun and the moon, the lesser light and the greater light. And again, guys, the moon is a light. Okay, it's not the reflection of sunlight. It said it is the lesser light to rule the night. Okay, to rule the darkness. But the moon cycle is what the calendar, God's calendar, the Creator's calendar, is based off of. Okay, it's not based off of the Roman calendar or any of the other calendars that we are aware of. Okay, the new moon is the beginning of the month, and then you count every 7 days. You rest. So every 7 days you're supposed to be on a rest, because it is an eternal or a perpetual, ongoing covenant between God and man. Okay. Who do you serve? Who do you serve? The world, or do you serve the Creator? Do you fall for the lies and deceptions and walk in the ways of the world, or do you believe the truth and walk in the truth? Anyway, I just want to bring up September 23rd, 2017. That's this year, and that's in the past. I know that a lot of people were going off about, there's going to be major events. There's going to be the rapture. It's going to be this. It's going to be that. Okay? It's none of those things, guys. It was a sign in the heavens, a great wonder in the heavens. That's what it was, a sign. Not saying, hey, the rapture is going to happen, hey, the end of the world's coming, hey, it's none of that. He said it would be a sign, okay, so that you know that we're on the correct path, on target. Also remember that you had the exact same sign, the virgin giving birth, all the way back in the days of, or actually it was about 3 BC. Okay, it's the actual birth of the Messiah, the Christ, Jesus Christ, as the world's come to know Him, but the Word of God made flesh. Okay, yeah, I'm still digging on the pond, but my tractor's down. I broke my tractor, but I'll get back to that when I can. For right now, waiting for the water to come down. I need to come on down, because I'm going to be digging a well down over in that area over there, where the pond is, where the dryer is. Anyway, so when it comes to these signs, guys, that's exactly what they are. They're signs to let you know where we are in time. Okay, it's not that something's going to take place. See, that's a false prophet. That's a false teacher right there. It is a sign just to simply let you know where we are in the course of time. That's all it was. And it happened, and we'll all bear witness of it. But again, it happened in 3 BC at the birth of Christ. I know everybody says Christ was born in 0 BC. That's why the calendars changed. But again, they changed the calendars, guys. So none of that really matters. But it's the same sign, but at the end, it's actually had, this time, the Virgin gave, Jupiter was in the womb for 9 months, so, and then gave birth on the September 23rd. Jupiter, Jupiter being the big planet. So anyway, all is signifying is that the power of Antichrist is here. Okay? Guys, you got to remember, they have D-wave computing, okay? There's nothing new under the sun. Nothing new under the sun. Get that foundational truth in you and get it in you now. You got to. You got to get the foundational truth in you. There's nothing new under the sun. See, we had an alien invasion in the past. We had aliens show up in the past. It's called the Anunnaki. You hear the story on YouTube, it's just twisted. Look, the fallen angels, angels that were in the beginning, they were in the beginning. They were there when the foundations of the earth were laid. They understand every particle. They understand the aspect of energy. Okay, if you go to the book of Enoch, remember Enoch is in the scriptures, the Bible. But if you go to Enoch's actual book and hear what he's got to say, it is the angels that came down to man and they taught them technology. Okay? Which they were not supposed to do. So why is it that we went 2,000 years with no technology and then boom, all of a sudden we have a Roswell incident? And then all of a sudden we're getting technology. Computers are showing up. Technology is showing up. Okay, there's nothing new under the sun, guys. Don't fall for the greatest deception to ever hit man. Angels are in a different dimension. They're right here on the earth. In fact, they're right up there in that firmament, that blue sky. What we call the blue sky. Okay? And it is literally blue. When you see the actual blue chunks of the firmament that have fallen down to the earth, it's blue. That's why it's blue up there. And we can go into scriptures and we can talk about the different types of light too. And that is that you have daylight and then you have sunlight. He created light first, which is the noble gases. That blue, all that right there is daylight. Get up, guys, in the morning before the sun rises, way before the sun rises, approximately 45 minutes to an hour before, and watch daylight. Daylight is the noble gases, the highest gases, the lightest gases at the top of the firmament. When you take a noble gas, such as neon or any other, like fluorescent or neon or whatever, you take the neon gas and you use Tesla technology, and guess what? Without applying electricity, it lights up. Okay? Noble gases, that's that blue.
Okay, so what we're doing here is we're going to look at daylight. Okay, we're in a high altitude balloon. It goes up to about 121,000 feet, and right now it's on its way up. But what I want you to see is daylight. Before you see sunrise, you see daylight rise. So that's what we're going to take a look at here. Here we have, I'm going to pause it when it comes back around here. Let it come back around real quick. Okay, what you see here is this is the noble gases that are lit up. This is the separation of light and darkness. Okay, this is what Genesis chapter 1 is all about. Okay, the very first thing he does, he created the heavens and the earth. The first thing he does, though, is he says, let there be light, and then there is light. and he sees the light that it is good, and he calls the light day, and he calls the darkness he calls night. Okay, so right here what you're seeing is daylight. Okay, this is before the sunlight begins to arrive. This is the daylight. Now let's go forward a little bit here. Okay, now let's let it come back around, and I'll pause it again. That's the moon. Okay, so now here we have a little bit better perspective of the daylight. Okay, we have not yet seen the sunrise. We have not seen sunlight yet. This is the noble gases. This is the light, daylight. He called the light day. So let's go on ahead and get a little bit farther ahead in the video. Okay, whoa, let's let that go on around a little bit. Okay, now you're really beginning to be able to see it. So here's your daylight coming in. Okay, now you can say this is the sun interacting with the noble gases, whatever. This is daylight, guys. Here in a second you're going to see the dome that comes with the sunlight. So right here we're looking at daylight. Let's continue. Okay, here, if it comes over a little bit, I'll pause it again. Hopefully it'll come over. Okay, here you're beginning to be able to see the very edge of sunlight. But still, I want you to see that here's the separation of darkness and light, light and darkness. This is the daylight. This is what he called day. Okay, now we're going to go a little bit farther, and this is where you're going to be able to begin to see sunlight and the separation of daylight and sunlight. Okay, let's let this get on around here and see where we're at in the video. And I will put a link in the down below in the description to this video. I do subscribe to this guy that launches these balloons. Hopefully this will come back around pretty quick. Here, let me pause the recording until it gets around. Okay, now we're getting to where you can kind of see. Here, this blue area is daylight. Okay, that's the that's the light that he created. This is the beginning of sunlight right here, and this yellow is the beginning of the actual sunlight touching the actual terrestrial land, the actual earth that he called earth, that where there wasn't water, the land, the earth. Okay, and this is sunlight, and then this is daylight, and this is that darkness, that separation between day and night. Let's go a little bit farther, guys. Okay, we're going to go right here. Now you can really begin to see where the actual sunlight is, the dome over the sun, and then where there's daylight up here in the blue, and then the darkness up in here. And you can see where the sunlight is actually making contact with the terrestrial plane, the actual ground. And again, here's the end of daylight, here's the end of sunlight right here, this white area, and this is the end of daylight, and there's darkness, there's a separation. Let's go a little bit farther. Okay, the balloon just popped right here, but let it stabilize here, and I'll show you the beginning, the actual sunlight. You'll be able to see the whole thing. Okay, now I've got it to where it's kind of halfway stable, but it's going to have to come back around. The wind's got it. But look at this horizon here. Obviously it's completely flat, not curved, which at this altitude, 114,000 feet in the air, you ought to be able to tell that it's completely curved. It ought to fall away from you from all directions. But we're not going into the flat earth thing right now. What we are doing is looking at sunlight, and hopefully it'll get there here pretty quickly, because I don't want these videos to be forever long. I may have to pause it. Alright. Here you can see the white, the blue, and then up in here in the upper area is dark. Okay, this white right here, this dome of light, this white dome right here is sunlight. The rest is daylight. Two completely and utterly separate things. But while we got it on this video, listen. You hear that grinding and stuff like that? This thing is in super cool temperatures, guys. Negative 400 degrees up there, and that's the same temperature that the D-Wave computer runs at, negative 400, guys. You're talking about sub-zero temperatures. This is the realm. That's the moon there. This is the realm of, or the dimension of the angels. But you can hear up here that there is some form of a liquid, a frozen liquid, whether it's liquid nitrogen or something like that, but it is indeed a liquid, and the firmament does indeed separate the waters from the waters. Anyway, I'm not going to get off on that subject. We'll get back to the video. I love you guys. I just wanted to show you that there is daylight and there is sunlight, just as the scriptures declared. Got a little bird up there flying around. Plane over there.
But the noble gases light up. And so he divided the light from the darkness. He called the light day, daylight, and the night darkness, or the darkness night. Okay? So you have day and night, and that is daylight, and then you have sunlight, which he created the sun later. But evening and the morning were the first day. Okay? He divided the light from the darkness. He created the light. He spoke it into existence, which is the neon, the noble gases, whatever you want to call it. It's up there. Has nothing to do with the sun. Okay? Get up before the sun comes up and watch the noble gases light up. And then watch the sunrise a half hour to 45 minutes later as the sunlight begins to show up. Okay? And then you begin to see that the scriptures are correct. Everything's correct in the scriptures, guys. And you have to get back to the truth. And the truth is only found in God. It can't be found in the world, guys. Let every man be a liar. That includes me, okay? Get to the Word. That's what I'm trying to tell you. The Word. Word's where you got to be. But in the beginning, he created he separated the light from the darkness and did all that. And then after all that, then the evening, then the morning, that's the first day, okay? So the whole day, the evening and the morning, first day. The whole day he spent creating light and darkness, separating them, calling them day and night, and so forth and so on. And then the evening passed, and then the morning came, and that was the first day. It's 6 literal days. And on the 7th day, he rested. So you got to have the Sabbath because he sanctified it. Okay? But there's nothing new under the sun, guys. There's nothing new under that dude. Nothing. And that sun right there that you're looking at is exactly the same size as the moon. The moon ain't out, but it's exactly the same size. When it gets cloudy out, look at the sun. It's the same size as the moon. And it's not millions and trillions and quadrillions of miles, 93 million miles away. It's right here inside of the firmament. He said he created it in the firmament. And the stars and all that kind of stuff. So now let's get back to it. Nothing new under the sun, right? He said the Anunnaki is they who from the heavens came. Okay? The Bible says that they can transform themselves into angels of light. The fallen. Satan. Whoever. The fallen. Okay? Every single movie, every single song, every single everything is about the scriptures, guys. That's what it's about. Every single one of them, except we're too blind, too caught up in the lies and deceptions to ever catch it. There is no other story. Okay? Transformers, the fallen. Okay? Just watch these movies, guys. They're telling you the truth in the movies. They don't tell you the truth straight up. They put it in. They speak, guys. Their language is in symbols and hand little, 666. Or the bull, or the horns, or whatever, they speak with their hands, and they put their symbolism throughout the movies and stuff to let you know that they're in charge, and they are in charge. Adam had full authority, guys. He reigned and ruled over the earth. Period. He had absolute authority. 2 by 2, the animals came to him, and he would name them. You can only name what you have authority over. Man was given authority over the earth, over the fowl of the air, the beasts of the earth, the fish in the sea, the aquatic life, everything. Absolute authority. Until man, Adam, through Eve, and then Adam himself, both sinned and disobeyed God and did what? They obeyed who became Lucifer, okay? I mean, Satan. Lucifer was his original name. He was the most beautiful angel. He was the covering angel. He was full of glory. He was the reflection of the glory of God. He's unbelievable until he became Satan. When sin was found in his heart, he became Satan, okay? The accuser of man. Okay? But anyway, Adam obeyed Lucifer. Therefore, giving Lucifer 100% absolute authority on this earth. He reigns, he rules. Not man, not God. It says the God of this world. God speaking says the God of this world. Satan is in charge down here, people. Everything is flipped and upside down. You got to get the sleep out of your eyes. You can clearly see. I'm telling you, you can clearly see when you get to the truth. Everything. Every movie, every song is about the scriptures. There's no other thing to talk about. And they're telling you that there's a storm coming. A storm is coming. Are you ready, guys, for the storm? Okay? There's going to be earthquakes. There's going to be further pestilences. There's going to be bigger actual weather storms. But they're trying to tell us that the storm is coming. That's what all the movies are saying nowadays. The storm is coming. And the other day, President Trump, right, they're not elected. They are put into position. And if you think Trump is a Christian, you've lost your mind, guys. Just because he carries the Bible around doesn't mean he's a Christian. Okay? That's the bottom line. He's not a Christian, guys. He's a deceiver. This is where another well is going to go, right down in here. That'll feed the house. But it'll be under the water, under the dirt, so that the water is filtered because of stuff that they're spraying, which today, they ain't spraying nothing. Beautiful day. But anyway, the deceptions, guys, are going to get very real. But there's nothing new under the sun. The Anunnaki, as the story goes, you know, their planet, their atmosphere was falling apart, whatever. They needed gold. They created the human race. And then they turned them into slaves, blah, blah, blah. Okay? It's just a story. It's animating, the story emanates from the scriptures. Okay? The fallen angels came down. They came down. Look, the fallen angels are in a different dimension. You get it with D-Wave, and you understand that they are communicating in another dimension. Okay? Getting answers from another dimension. From Lucifer and the fallen themselves, who taught man technology back before the flood. Look, they've got buildings and structures that weigh hundreds of tons, blocks, that is, and that are so precisely and perfectly fit together, it's unreal. But again, the book of Enoch tells us that they were taught these technologies and that the giants built these things, and that is the pre-flood world. And their technology was far superior to ours. They knew how to levitate blocks and do amazing things. Okay? We're almost there, guys. We're already in the days of Noah. Remember, it goes. The shift is from regular righteousness to gay lesbian, right? Sodomites. Remember, sodomites. Sodom and Gomorrah. So gay lesbian, and then it's transgender, and then it's pedophilia, then it's transhuman, and then it's posthuman. You know, all mankind gets wiped out except Noah. Except those who are going to be raptured out. Okay, but you're not getting raptured out, guys, until the wrath is poured out. You're in tribulation. He said, look, man, you're going to hear of wars and rumors of wars. You're going to have earthquakes, pestilences, disease, all these things taking place. And these are the beginning of sorrows. These are the beginning of trials and tribulations. You're in them. Look around you. Look at my videos about earthquakes. I showed you, when I first started making videos on YouTube, I showed you guys that earthquakes were only on one side of the planet, and they were minor, and then all of a sudden we got to Japan, the 9.1, and then they started spreading around the Ring of Fire, all the way around the Ring of Fire, and nowadays we're getting massive earthquakes right here by Mexico. Okay? And the United States is next. It's coming. It may not be this year, and it may not be for 2 or 3 years. I don't know. But it took approximately 6 years to get from over there around Japan to our side of the Pacific Ring. But we're on our side of the Pacific Ring. California is not that far away, neither is Alaska. Okay, so what I'm saying is these are the birth pains are increasing, guys, and the storms are increasing. All the things are increasing. Time is speeding up. Time is narrowing down. We're about out of time. Literally out of time. Time is about to end. The movement of him going around in the dome, in a circle, is about to end. Okay? The kingdom of righteousness is on its way. That's what these signs are for. Showing you that it is approaching. It is coming to end the evil and wickedness on this planet once and for all. For 1,000 years at the very least. then he's got to be let loose again for a little bit. Okay? What you're seeing in this world, the chaos that is building up, and the false stories, the false flags, the chaos they're building up, they're developing, all this stuff is in preparation for what they plan to do, which is ultimately going to be destroyed by the return of the Christ. The Word of God. The firstborn among the children of God. The sons of God. Daughters of God. See, angels are sons of God. It's in Scripture as clear as day. Okay, and they came down, they slept with the daughters of men. And the outcome of the celestial dimension sleeping with the physical dimension was giants and evil giants who became evil. They're so huge, 30 foot tall. Something, you know, the average was 7, 8 foot tall. Okay, we have those right now. We're already headed back that direction. But they got as tall as like 30 feet, 36 feet, I believe, is the tallest that we've found so far. 36 foot tall human being. Okay, and they require a lot to eat. And it said in the book of Enoch says when it ran out of food, sources of food, you know, on the earth, they started eating the animals, and then humans. Cannibalism. See, we're seeing cannibalism beginning to creep up in the media. Okay, it's becoming mainstream. Slowly but gradually it will be here. Okay, the giants will be back. They're here. Okay, there's a story about a giant in Afghanistan in a cave that the military found. Is it true? Is it not? Don't matter. Okay, my point is we're headed that way anyway. So maybe it's not true. Maybe they're just prepping the minds of men for the returns of the giants. I don't know. Okay, it doesn't matter though. It doesn't matter. What matters is you get down to the truth of things, guys, that you go back to reality. You have daylight and you have sunlight. Okay? Man, angels came down from the heavens and slept with the daughters of men. Aliens, extraterrestrial, we're terrestrial. They're non-terrestrial. They're celestial. They're in a different realm, but they can take on the image of a man. And we are made in the image and likeness of God. And he said, let us, plural, speaking to the angels, create man in our image and in our likeness. So the angels look just like us. And when these aliens or extraterrestrials show up, when they allow them to come on the scene, they're going to look just like us. And they're going to claim the story of the Anunnaki, that they created us in their image and in their likeness. And guess what? They're not lying. We were made in the image and likeness of God and of the angels. He said, let us, speaking to the angels. Okay? So they're going to look just like us. And they are going to deceive us. Because their ultimate plan when they get here is to prepare for the great battle of the return of that man that's going to be on a white horse coming down from the heavens. Okay? But between their arrival and the return of the kingdom and the Christ and the righteousness, there's going to be, it's just going to get steadily worse. Okay? We have got to get into transgender, which we're in right now, then pedophilia, which we're headed into, then transhuman, which we're also heading into, and then ultimately posthuman. But time's running out. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. Time is running out. And you got to get to the truth of things and stop going down all these different rabbit trails. Everything, every single thing that is in a movie, that is in a video, that is in a music, whatever it is, guys, it is always about the scriptures because there is no other story to tell. There's nothing else to even talk about because it's all that exists. There's nothing new under the sun. It's the same cycle where it says it will be like the days of Noah. In the days of Noah, mankind got wiped out and we reset, restart. This time mankind gets wiped out and we reset and restart in righteousness. with the King of Kings on the throne over the earth, instead of Lucifer as it is right now. Satan, the accuser, who's in charge right now. You have Satan, guys, and then below Satan, you have princes and principalities sitting over each nation, each one of the nations, that control the thoughts and the energies and all that of that nation. Okay? Now, you sitting here saying, man, it's the Freemasons, man, it's the Illuminati, man, it's this, it's that, it's the other. Yeah, it is all that. But it is Satan and his princes and principalities over the nations that are doing it, not the secret societies. The secret societies are the tool by which he uses. Know your enemy, people. That's the important thing. Stop blaming the Illuminati. Stop blaming the Freemasons. Stop blaming. They're just the tool. An ends. A means to an end. That's all they are. Okay? And ultimately, they're going to run into the caves, asking for the caves and the rocks to fall on them. When their Messiah shows up, when their king shows up, Satan himself. And when God returns. Alright, guys. I love you guys, man. Get in the Word. Get the Word in you. That's what you need. The Word in you. That's really what you need. I love you guys, man. I'm just trying to help y'all to get back on track, because there's so many rabbit holes, so much deception, so much things, so many shrills, so many people coming on here, on the internet and on YouTube and putting up false things and twisting and turning and making everything, confusing everybody, right? Chaos. That's what they want. Get the Word, guys. Get the truth. Get the truth. This technology is headed one direction, the same direction it was headed in the days of Noah, guys. And we're almost there. That means he's almost ready to return. We don't know the time or the hour. We know the signs and we know the season. The last sign was the virgin in the sky. Virgo. Giving birth. Jupiter this time. Okay? The only other time it happened was in 3 BC, guys. When Messiah was birthed. And they followed the star. The two stars, when the two stars came into alignment, it was a big bright star, and they followed the star until one of them retrograded, and it wasn't a bright star anymore, and that was right over the manger. Okay, same thing that goes on today. When two stars like Venus, or two what they call planets, but two lights, Venus or wandering stars, Venus and say Mars line up, you get a much brighter light, because you get both lights, you know, kind of together, makes it brighter. And that's what they followed. If you go back to 3 BC on your star charts and look at what was going on, that's exactly what was going on. But anyways, guys, I love you guys. Get in the Word, stay in the Word, get the Word in you. That's the most important thing. Okay? And get ready. Get ready. Do all that you can to prepare. And then after that, it's by grace alone that you're going to make it. Because look, guys, you didn't come to salvation of your own will. It was His will. And if He didn't bring you to salvation, you would still not be at salvation. You would still not have the truth. You would still be where you were. Okay? You can't boast about any of it, guys. I can't boast about any of it. It is Him and Him alone that has done it all for each and every one of us. And if He doesn't sustain us, we fall. So get in the Word. Get Him in you. Love you guys. Peace out.